Hello folks, welcome to a Walkie Talkie. I think we're quite a far stage out of West End, but it's the west of Glasgow, I suppose. Pulling hairs aside, I want to give you a little bit of an update. Remember our Taxi-verse collection of videos about Mr. Fat Bastard from Glasgow Taxis? Well, I've actually I confronted him twice, right? I confronted him, calling him a dickless coward. He had not a word to say. Normally, if you went up to another man and called him a dickless coward, you were basically putting yourself in date for a punch-up. No. And again, I called him a coward on the second occasion. And guess what? Not a thing. He just kind of looked at me like... Right? I mean, I suppose with taxi drivers, you know, they have to take a fair wage of abuse. They probably deserve it, actually, given his kind of way of operating taxis. But anyway, yeah, absolutely reactionless. And I did actually feel pretty good for actually standing up to him and calling him a dickless coward on one occasion and a coward on the second. I did feel, you know, a wee bit of resolution from it. Now, interestingly enough, the person he nearly struck by coming onto the pavement via doing a U-turn, she actually had a right good going at him as well. He deserves all the abuse he is due to receive, and a lot more, right? And you know what he actually said? He actually spoke to her, which is odd enough. Although I was giving him platelets of abuse, which he thoroughly deserves, and he'll probably get a wee bit more from me, actually, right? He said, well, I didn't knock you down. So yeah, she said, yeah, little bastard, I want a word with you. And he went, aye. And she said, you nearly knocked me down on that pavement. And you know what he said? You know what bizarre shit he said? Next was, what day was that? So that's implying he's been going around Glasgow doing that to all and sundry, and he files each experience down to a day. So what day was that? And she said, you fucking well know what day it was. And he went, well, I never knocked you down or anything. So you can see and hear the absolute undiluted apathy of this absolute baldy fucker, right? And fat fucker, might I say. Oh, I love chipping in, he's a fat fucker. Yeah, that's because he sits in a fucking chair all day and eats shite in between passengers. But honestly, his only comeback was, well, I didn't knock you down. That is wow. I mean, that is wow level of apathy. And no wonder he doesn't have a girlfriend. He probably knocked her down when he couldn't be bothered. Was that a bit naughty? Of course it was fucking naughty. Anything bearing my name is fucking naughty. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give you this wee update and just kind of like, the apathy level is pathetic. Like, I didn't knock you down or anything. Was it his comeback? And just to let you know, folks, this is Annie's Land, and this is a wee taxi ride he always frequents between now and about 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm gobsmacked. That's all I can say. And see, to be honest, that originally gobsmacked feeling I had when that incident happened is actually currently in me right now. You know? Now, it's awe-striking. The only thing I could ever pass on to you is a wee bit of advice. If you have booked a Glasgow Taxi, which is a rip-off, but sometimes we have to do the rip-off taxi route. It's just the way things go, right? If you have booked a taxi and it's arriving, either be you get a text message saying, "Oh, be on the lookout for regi plate," right? I would say the best bit of advice I could give you, if your taxi is a black Mercedes and the regi plate starts with KV, I can't remember the rest of the regi plate because it's not on my mind currently. However, if you see the taxi arriving and it's got a sponsor wrap around the vehicle, it says Voltec, not to be confused with the Fallout computer games, but Voltec, the Volvo technicians, please give it a simple consideration whether you get in the taxi or not. If you get in the taxi or not doesn't affect him and it doesn't affect you. So if you do hear my description and see the taxi being the same description, it's due to pick you up. You have the conscious decision to either jump in it or phone up the taxi company saying, "Nah, I want another one, I don't want to be in his wheels," you know. So that's all I'll say. But yeah, I do feel a hell of a lot better, by the way, folks. Because you probably remember that video I was in the West Coast and I was in an absolute fucking state. You know, I was the one that actually had to pull my mum out of harm's way, and if I didn't do that, or whatever, she'd be in a wheelchair because that fat bastard, fat bald bastard. And I don't care what language I'm using now, because it's the Queen's English, right? He, by a lot of definition, he is bald and he is a bit plump. You should get a real job sometime soon. But anyway, I think I've talked enough, and I'm sure you're wanting to get on with the rest of what seems to be a pretty fucking amazing evening for y'all. So I'll catch y'all later. Much love, and up you, taxi boy.